Well, again, this is the second or third time I've tried to make this one. But as you see, my mobility is doing better. I appreciate all the concerns in the comments and stuff. I can move a little bit more, but I'm still injured, so I'm still trying to take it easy. But a couple things I'd like to address before I get into what I was doing. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but on the MCS master cylinder, these screws, they only sit in probably 2 or 3 threads into it. And the same thing for the clutch perch as well. I went to the hardware store, I bought some metric hex head because these were bolts when every bolt on this bike is hex or Torx. So, and then I don't know if I had to, but I did anyway. I filed them down just slightly because they were bottoming out, so they would still take. And then the edges in between the mating surfaces, there was a buildup. I'm not sure why. I filed that down, and it's not tight right now, but it grabs fine. So I'm glad that was a somewhat simple fix, and it improves the look, I think, because bolts are normal. I don't know what they're called. Standard bolts, heads. I'm just stupid. So I got my bars on. I think they're angled more out this way to be more aggressive, but also the rise is higher. So I'm not sure as far as the adjustment you can have, but it might actually do better if you're wanting to sit more upright to a degree. So then when I took this front piece, this is the new one. This is display holder or whatever they call it. So everything slides out of these 2 holes. They're just below the bolts right here. When you unbolt that, this pulls away, and then there's just, I don't know what they're called. They just slide into a hole down here. So there's no bolts or anything. They just slide in, and then they secure up here. So the holes that the wires come in and out of, everything comes out. Is small enough to come out, except your kill switch. That obviously goes around the bar, through the hole, and then around through this section here that pulls out. I don't know if I addressed that. This little piece pulls out, so then the main harness can actually come out. But it comes through the hole, runs through that, and then goes under the tank. And as you can see, I got the plastics off. I was trying to fit something else, so this is somewhat on, but I took the coolant reservoir down, which is just pretty easy. And then this piece here, I think there's 3 bolts that hold it. I just pulled it down, give me some clearance, and the plug is back here. And I unplug it, and then you're able to pull it out and get it out, and then put in a new one. I'm glad I know that, because I actually I will need a new kill switch, just because one of the bolts pulled the plastic threads out. But in the meantime, it'll secure, it'll look fine, it'll be normal, but I'm OCD like that. The other thing I was working on is, I don't know if many people mess with these. I actually didn't put it on my last bike. I got it for my XSR 900. And I had it on there for a while, but where I had it mounted, when I would come down from a wheelie, it would bottom out into the fender because I couldn't find a appropriate spot to fit it. Because for me, if I can't hide it or make it look stock, I don't want it. I don't want it on here. I like factory things. For example, on my Ford car, I have Ford wheels that don't really belong on that particular model. But anyways, I tried to tuck it up, the plastic shroud that comes here, and in between the shroud that covers that space here, because this is the normal horn mount right here. And so I have plugged in, I'll show you in a second. but I plugged in my relay so I can plug in my switch so I can run this with my air pump. So the cleanest place that I think I can find to run this is right here. Right just barely behind the radiator. It's not touching the motor, not touching the radiator. And then my concern is, because I don't want to damage the frame, even though this, it'll probably never come off, but I still don't like damaging stuff. So this is, I mean, I don't know if this is the best thing, but I got some of this to wrap around it. At least create a cushion, as well as it'll indent a little bit, so when I zip tie the junk out of it, it'll seat and it won't move. Because I know the double sticky 3M stuff, it sometimes has a tendency to move or unstick and stuff like that, so I got some of that. So yeah, I have the wire ran for the relay. I mean, this is all going to be up in a mess until I get the rear end sorted, but yeah, I just have it right. And it's worth it. If you get this, I think it's definitely, yeah, so then that piece there, that plugs into the connections on the actual air pump, because I got the separate one. You can get the, I don't know what the other one is called, the mini or something, and it's the pump and the unit is all together. See, I had this on my other bike, so I'll be taking this off, but the air line goes right here, pumps air, and then there's the two plugs. So, and that, I'm pretty sure it has plenty of space right behind the battery. I'm gonna mount it there, and to help that as well. Here's his hose. The hose isn't very, it's important, but it's not very high pressure. So this will do fine. It's rated for 45 pounds, so, or 3 bar, whatever you want to go by. So, but that's that. I still have the rear set off as I took the cat out. I might be changing. I wanted the Pro Race exhaust. I don't know, because of tuning and stuff like that. I'll do more research. I want I think the Race Tech, the Aero Race Tech, because it's longer, a little bit longer can. Still looks sort of clean. I'd rather have the smaller Pro Race, but I mean, if it helps with me not having to get a tune or worry about the engine running lean whatsoever, I would prefer that. And I got the rectifier under this side of the shroud. But yeah, I'm sort of at a standstill till I get my rear parts. Because I broke one of the turn signals is okay, but the other one, it pulled the wires out from the actual clip that clips into, I'm not sure which one, but it clips into one of those, and it pulled it out, and I can't get it to seat back in because it was still in there. So I'm just gonna I found some factory OE replacements until, down the road, because this was an unexpected expense right here. So that's about it, I think. Yeah, this is a big mess in here. There's a lot of wires. And then I'm pretty sure if you have I know the 790 has it, and I'm pretty sure this is auxiliary power spade plugs, as you can plug some other stuff in there. I'm not really sure. I'm not concerned with it right now, but outside of that, I think that's about all I've done to it so far. And then I had I don't even know where it's at. Oh, it's over here. Pile of junk. I haven't unwrapped it yet because I might not need it. Here's the under tray. Mine is under the table there, and it's all cracked up. That's a new one, but I might be getting some other stuff, so I might be able to return that. So I haven't opened it yet. And then the outside head, actually I don't even know what it's called. This piece, once everything's in there, this goes over that, and then the headlight plug comes through that hole, which is this one right here. I never thought I would be ripping into a 2020 bike, and there's lots of screws holding everything together, but it's, I don't know, for me it's self-explanatory, but who knows, it could be a lot more challenging for other people. I thought there was one other thing I wanted to address, but I can't remember what it is. Spools are actually, they're just KTM ones. They only stock silver, and I wanted them right then, so I just got them. I'd rather have black, but anyways. So I'm just trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, one other thing. So I like to keep my clutches, when I, my lever pull, I like to keep it like a dirt bike, where you just use one finger, just bop, bop, bop. I like that, because I'm able to keep the rest of my hand on my grip. And so I didn't end up doing this because I've always had pretty good luck with the way my clutches were set up. But to do that, there's not very much adjustment in the factory lever. So what I'm going to do, and I have to adjust it because I had to move this up already because I was trying to get the adjustment screw out of the perch, but I couldn't quite do it. So so if you're able to move the line up closer, yes, the cable's going to be the same length, but if you move the actual cable closer to your perch, you're going to have more adjustment up here, and that's personally where I would rather have it, so that I can do exactly that, is one finger clutch pulls. Yeah, I mean it's not adjusted right now, but yeah, I see videos of people like they'll grab full grip and then do that, and then that's, to each their own, but that's not the way I'm gonna operate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I did watch because as this is a new bike, even the reviewers, the actual reviewers, like the motorcyclist type people in magazines and online stuff. One thing I will combat that they have said about this bike, not a disagreement, I guess, would they say it's pretty tame, even though it's super quick, with the tech on. Yes, the ABS, the traction control, the MTC, the MSR. I'm still unsure of what exactly those do, but I know it's with traction mitigation and stuff like that. It says it's pretty tame, and to be honest, this is the only bike so far that has scared me. And like I said, I've come from my FZ10. I had XSR 900 before that, and like, the tech on this bike is good. It intervenes when it needs to, and for me at least, and because I never changed the settings from when I rode it home from the dealer. The only time I felt it intervene was when I was in rain mode, which I was in rain mode just to chill out my throttle a little bit and not take off so hard from lights or whatever. But yeah, this is a quick bike. It's amazing how quick it is. Yeah, there's a comment I want to make, but I kind of don't want to make that. So this part here for the battery tray, that'll be the challenge to getting a new one of those. as well as the actual battery hold down, because they're both cracked. And you can see that piece there. I don't know what was on there, some kind of mount or something, but it's definitely cracked. But outside of that, and then I got some, so when this broke off, the display was hanging down, and so it got abrasions. I think I maybe showed this. I quite don't remember. But you can see that part in the middle. I think that was from it was hanging and just rubbing when they were towing it. But I got to figure out how to clean that, and then I got some anti-glare coverage for it. I don't know if it'll hide that or not, but yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I don't do too much because the other day I was moving around. I was not doing super extensive stuff, but I was moving around quite a bit, and it was starting to bother me quite a bit. And here's the other bar. I can show you that. So you can see just in that right there, you can see the rise isn't nearly as much as the one here. And see, I got all the grips and crap on it now, but that side, the right one is bent. But from when I was able to line it up before, the angle sits more out this way, more forward. But you can see that the rise alone is pretty significant. So, yeah, that's that piece there. And I don't know if too many people are concerned with this, but got the here, one sec. So that is my helmet that I was wearing. Skidded across some gravel or some dirt or something. And then, because I had a scrape on the right side of my eye. I think it's from my sunglasses. It broke my Oakleys. I treasure my Oakleys. I always wanted a pair. A couple years ago, I finally bought. Well, actually, just last year, I bought a pair, and I loved them. But I broke one of the arms off. They're overall fine, but one of the limbs is gone, and I don't know if you can buy replacement limbs. But I apologize for the long video again. I was only trying to do about 6 to 8 minutes. But that's that. The wiring on it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I come from messing with stuff. I'm not pro by no means, but I like to mess around and know my bike. So, but yeah, that's all. Always wear your helmets. Always. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Even though that is probably a base entry level helmet, it still saved my life. So, but ride safe. Thanks for your support again. Later.